Hello, hello. This is Simracing Corner, and welcome to my 2021 Simrig Tour. And this marks the third year of operation of Simracing Corner. My first video on the channel in 2018 in September was a Simrig Tour, and I'll try to mark every year with another one of these videos. But I did forget to do one last year, unfortunately. But I do have a couple of older Simrig Tours from 2018 and also 2019. I'll put links in the description to those if you are interested in seeing those. So let's get on with it, guys. And first off, Simrig is still in the same corner as it always has been. We'll start with the monitor, which I've had from the beginning, and this is a 35-inch Predator monitor. It goes up to 200 Hz, but really 144, 120. I run it at 120, I think that's fine. It is a 1080 by 2160 monitor. Still does a good job. Obviously not the highest res stuff you can get, but it is a nice monitor. And it is connected to my Simrig by this articulating heavy duty arm, which is held on to the rest of the aluminium profile of the sim cockpit. And this is so I can just use the same monitor, single monitor, and swing it over to my in front of the desk if I want to play some games or just do some productivity like editing videos, etc. And I'm just going to show you a visitor. Hello, Simcat. Hello, you alright? There she is. Hello, Simcat. Yeah, good girl. But get back to this. So there you go. I've lost my thought there. So that's a Simcat tool for 2021 as well. Okay, so at the back is the arm, and you can see there's the controller box for my direct drive motor, which is a SimSteering. You're going to get in the way, aren't you? I'll work around you, Simcat, but I'll give you some smooths first. Good girl. Yep, so that's a direct drive wheel motor for the Bodnar SimSteering 2. I've had that for ages, probably about 4 years, I think. On top of that is a SimProject Pro Race 2, which is a display, of course, for telemetry. So it has 3 displays, there's gear in the middle and a couple of, I think, 4-digit kind of little gauges on the left and right hand side with some extra LED lights and also shift lights there. Really, really nice. Again, something I've reviewed, guys, and I'll put links into. In fact, I'll put links in the description to everything I've shown you on the channel if I have reviewed it. So there are a bunch of things which you'll see in other videos, and I've gone into greater depth. So if you're interested in any of these things I'm showing you, check the video description, and I will post links to those respective videos. Okay, to the right we have a Waveshare 7-inch screen. It's powered by USB. So 5 volts, and it's an HDMI screen, and I'm just running a custom sim dash which I hacked together, which I'm really pretty happy about. And it's only a couple of days ago I actually finalised this, and I've always been using the track radar, the car radar, and that's so useful, but I've added a couple of elements to it. Firstly, I'll put the nice kind of background on there where it's just basically the desktop screen. We have a track map. And on here you can just see that's the time from the car ahead and the car behind. So it's quite useful, so you can see if you're catching up or car behind is catching up with you. There's gear shift there and just some useful info. I'm just running a playback from SimHub, which is why you're seeing all this sort of stuff going. Okay, so direct drive motor, we have a excuse me. We have a Asher button plate, so one of the carbon fibre ones, which they no longer produce. They produce ones out of aluminium now, so this is one of the older ones, but really, really decent quality. And we have a Turn Racing R20 wheel rim planted on the front of that. If we move over to the left-hand side, this is my DIY 3D printed box I put together for my Stream Deck, which I use as a button box. Really, really, really useful. And this is a SimProject Speedo in there, and that's just a Nexteon 2.8-inch screen. I do want to change the display on there. I keep the Nexteon, but I don't want to just change the this what's shown on screen. I just need to work out how to edit it all. It's kind of a bit of a pain to work out, but there are some there are some good tutorials out there, and I do need to get on the case and change that, because I don't want to. I want to mess around with that and make it, design it differently than what it is. That's one of the stock ones. Below there we have a vocal screen, which I have put a video on this already, showing you how to put this together. Again, this is actually one of my own creations, which I was just playing around with SimHub and Dash Studio, and a couple of days ago I wanted to I've always wanted a nice big clear lap timer, and that's why it takes up half the screen there, and just some useful little tyre information there, tyre temps and tyre wear, and just some details of fuel and time remaining on the race, brake bias and DRS. I think that was really nice. So you can just sit from, this is how I sit from my seated position. It's really, really good. Here we have a SimProjects gear shift display, which is in a 3D printed box, which again, something I put together myself. And this is a Heusinkveld Handbrake. SRS sequential shifter, something I've reviewed very recently. And also another thing I've reviewed recently is this budget H-pattern shifter, which is quite fantastic and super cheap. Definitely recommend that. Check out the video review I put out on this, because it is really, really fantastic. Look how solid that is. Love it. Really, really good bit of kit for not a lot of money. If we go to, actually I forgot to show you this, which is behind, below this, which is an M-spec shift light. You can see this little carbon fibre tube with lights on the front, and that's working with SimHub. A friend of mine made a plug-in for me to work with SimHub, and it works great. Again, video on this if you're interested. Below we have Thrustmaster TLCM pedals. You might be able to see the little brake mod I put together. Maybe a bit dark for that, but yeah, you're still using the brake mod which I put together DIY. Absolutely fantastic. So my main pedals are Heusinkveld Pro pedals, and I do need to get them back on the rig at some point, but I'm in no massive hurry if I'm perfectly honest, because those Thrustmaster load cell pedals are absolutely great, so I'm kind of happy with them, and I've been running them for probably a few months now. Yeah, that's how much I like them, so yeah, they were good. And a little pedal camera there. If we go to the seat, we have a Sparco R100, which is, I think, one of their cheapest seat you can get, but it's nice and lightweight. I've had this for nigh on 3 years, I expect, and it's a really good little seat. It's reclinable, nice and solid, but not very expensive. On here, on the front, we have a Realtius tactile seat pad. I think they're out of business now. I did check their website recently, and it's dead, which is a shame actually. It's a really good product, and I think it's a good product, but a terrible company, or terrible people running that company. I think they kind of run out of business. There's 4 motors in here on the seat, and 4 motors in the back seat, and the whole thing vibrates really well. It feels like the whole thing's vibrating, and you get really good tactile effects from it. So it's brilliant, really, really good. It's a shame actually that the company were terrible, because it's a great product, and yeah, it's still in really good condition. I've had this for over a year, and I'm always sitting on it, even if I'm not, not even using it, the effects on it, and looking, perfect condition, absolutely fine. Below the seats, we have, excuse me again, Next Level Racing V3 motion platform. So I've had that for a long time. I haven't reviewed it yet, and I do need to do that at some point. But yeah, in due course I will review this. But yeah, really, yeah, there you go. And the actual sim rig itself, the cockpit is a SimLabs GT1, which is one of their first ones they put out. So it's less sophisticated than their current kind of crop of kind of designs, and it's just mainly profile without any kind of fancy parts. Although I think there's a couple of custom bits there. But very little custom parts. It's just very basic, but yeah, I can't complain about it. It's a good job. So, and I've customised it quite heavily actually over the years with different things like the monitor arm, and adding that sort of stuff to it. So yeah, it has been morphed a little bit over time. But yeah, really happy with it still. I've got no need to, no reason to think about replacing that ever, if I'm honest about that. That is my web camera, which I use for recording the sim racing videos from overhead. That's a Razer Kaio Pro. Does a good job, and just a big camera tripod there, holding it together with some weights and stuff to try and keep things from wobbling around. My big lights, which I use for filming stuff with, is doing a good job here. If you're wondering what that wire is, that's that goes over here to this bag, which has my valve index in. So yeah, just hang it off there in a Fanatec bag, which I had from something. But yeah, and you can see, yeah, the wires are suspended from the ceiling. And we have my collection of wheel rims just on a wall rack here, and there's a couple along with some fisherman's friends, because I've got a bit of a cough. Yeah, they're very good. These are rooting tooting, very good. And this is my Sparco P310 with another Asher plate. Actually, this is my first button plate I ever bought, and this is their cheapest one they had at the time. You can see it's kind of bare at the back, but I think it was like €400, and that seemed like, you know, it is in the days of when I thought sim racing gear seemed really expensive, and so I went for the cheaper one. I should have got the full thing where it's all covered, but it's still okay. Dim Sim wheel rim, it's pretty cool, I like that. It's kind of interesting looking design. Just a variety of different wheel rims here, which at least I'll show you this one. Actually, this is quite a nice one. Hook's just fallen off. So this is a Simline button box, button plate, and on a Fanatec Porsche steering wheel. Both have been featured in other videos. This is the camera I use to do all my filming normally. I put a little fan on the back because it gets super hot, and sometimes it kind of shuts itself down, effectively protecting itself from overheating. So I put a fan on here, and it's something actually, if you do plan to use these sort of cameras, any type of, you know, fancy camera for streaming, these things can overheat regardless of the brand. That's a Canon M200, but I've since found out that it's a kind of common sort of problem with a lot of these cameras when you run them for too long, because they're not designed for that. They're not designed for being used, you know, 24/7. So yeah, it's a bit of a shame, but that was a little thing I've hacked together to keep it cool. Sort of works. There's a PC with lots of stuff. Do you want to see inside? I should be able to do this with one hand. There you go, that's inside of my PC. It's pretty boring, but that is a RTX 3090 and a big heatsink on the, what was it, i9 9900K, and running Noctua fans to make it nice and quiet, and just lots of drives which I use for stuff. Just put it back there. I'll put it back in a minute. There you go. Need some more fisherman's friends. And there you go, guys. That is the sim racing rig tour for 2021. Yeah, something for me to look back on next year when I do this. Again. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Yeah, if you have a sim rig tour, do drop a comment. You know, leave a link, and I'll check yours out as well, guys. But yeah, if you want to make a comment, tell me what you think of mine. That'll be cool too. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, and bye bye.